Welcome to Double TV with an HTC Desire 510. This Taiwan-made smartphone is in the cheap area of HTC, so that means that we spend up to 130, 170 bucks for the smartphone with a 4.7-inch screen. We have the latest HTC Sense 6.0 here installed and also Android 4.4.3. Now the hardware is, as you can see, a little bit of plasticky. We have here a non-flashback camera with 5 megapixels, which is a fixed focus camera, and then also some speakers here on the bottom. You can take off the back cover of this white model. It's available in different colors like gray, black and blue. And you can see that we have here the battery that's removable, 2100 milliamp. You can put in your micro SD card right here on this side and your micro SIM card in the middle right there, and also the jack port is right here on the top, but of course you can use that also with the cover on. Here we go. So we will try out the software a little bit, play a little bit, and let's first still see what the hardware can do. Like for example, there's a volume rocker here on the side, the on and off switch is here on the top right there. You have already seen the 3.5mm headphone jack. There's nothing on this side, and on the bottom you can of course charge it via micro USB. On the front, there's only one speaker here on the top for, of course, taking your phone calls, and there's one microphone right here on the bottom in the middle. The front camera has VGA, and it's enough for selfies, but of course not with the best quality. So we can easily unlock here the 4.7-inch screen, which has a resolution of 854 times 480 pixels, strange resolution and not that high, but for the Snapdragon 400 processor in the USA or 410 processor here in Europe, it's fast enough. 1.2 gigahertz quad-core processor is the speed of the 400 and 410. Also, we have 1 gig of RAM inside and 8 gigs of internal memory that you can expand via microSD, as you'll be able to see, with up to 128 gigs more. Bluetooth 4.0, Wi-Fi, GPS, AGPS, GLONASS, hotspot, DLNA, everything is built in. Miracast should also work. And with Bluetooth 4, you can of course use all kinds of smart gadgets like a smartwatch or some other wearables. So it's easy to use the software, as you can see, also to set up for yourself. It doesn't have 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi inside, that's why I'm connected to the 2.4 gigahertz here. At home, you can also set up here your quick edit, your quick settings to anything you would want, with up to 12 pieces showing here up on the list. But otherwise, here in the settings you can see it's of course HTC Sense 6.0 with the standard things that you can set for yourself. For example, here that you have the power management on top, where you can see the percentage also running. I have it running 1.5 hours now. You can see 15 or 16% are gone right now, but we will use it now for at least 10 minutes intensively, so you can see or follow just how many percent the battery goes down. The weight is 158 grams, which is 5.57 OZ, and the pixel density of the 4.7-inch screen with the resolution I mentioned before is 208 pixels per inch. So that's about it about the hardware, except for let's see how many AnTuTu points it got in the benchmark. Sometimes AnTuTu just stops. Unfortunately, it happens on any smartphone that I've used, even on the most expensive ones. It happens usually if you exit the app without exiting it quite good. So you can see here we have 20,000 points, which is alright. As it says here by the app, you can see that the best smartphones out there have about 48,000 or 50,000. And then here on the bottom, close to the Zenfone 5, which has about 23,000, is the HTC Desire 510 with 20,000, which is alright, as I said before. And for everyday tasks, it's definitely enough. You can see that when we open up here the browser, where we can just visit any website like the New York Times, for example. Here we go. And you can also see that the keyboard comes up quite quickly, and the animations and everything is quite smooth and fast. So it's easy to read here anything, but the problem with the display is actually that it's quite cheap. So from the sides, it won't look as good, and especially from the top, the colors go really quickly different colors. So you have to really hold it the right way. From the bottom, you won't see much right now because there is too much reflection going on, but the same happens there with the colors. So don't look at the smartphone from too much from the top. From the sides, it's all right. But yeah, you can just feel that this is a cheap display built in, but somewhere HTC has to, of course, look out for the cost if you want a cheap smartphone. So this is about the web browser, and we have shown you the benchmarks. Then otherwise you can see that there's some apps pre-installed. Of course, all the Google apps here in different folders. Some HTC apps like Zoe and HTC Guide and the Kid mode. And otherwise we have here, for example, the stocks and the .view cover also here pre-installed, because you can of course also get here a cover if you would want that. Otherwise these are the three things that I installed. For example, Asphalt 8 is quite nice for testing, but it needs a lot of space. So before we go and drive around a little bit or game a little bit, let's try the back camera, which I think I again here have to clean. Here we go, looks a lot better now. So you can see that the back camera is alright. But as I said, it's a fixed focus camera. So for example, if I want to shoot a picture here of my little Lego figure of myself, I can only hit the button. And actually I'm recording a video now, I'm sorry about that. Didn't even wanted to do that. But you can set here camera. And then I just take a picture and it takes it instantly. But of course you have to watch out like what will be in focus, because I wanted, for example, to be here me in focus, but it's not that sharp. So you really have to check where your focus is right now. I shot some pictures before, or at least tried, and my selfie went quite good. You only have to hit here the four little buttons, hit the selfie, and then you can shoot here your selfie pictures. And you have actually with HTC always the possibility to have a lot of settings here on the bottom that you can change, like white balance and so on and so on. So that's also always a good thing. Same thing here in the camera, you just have to press this and you can see we are getting a little help here that I don't even have to do what I'm doing right now. I can just swipe up or swipe down here to change between front and back camera. I didn't even know that. Thank you HTC very much. So let's go out again. You have seen a little bit of that, and let's just game a little bit and then compare it with some other smartphones like the Moto G from the first generation I have here lying around, or the Acer Liquid J. That's also quite alright smartphone here in that price range. So you can see that thanks to the 1 gig of RAM, the game loaded actually quite alright, so it didn't take too long. Graphics looks also good. There's no lags, hiccups or anything going on here. Okay, I was a little bit slow there, I'm sorry. But otherwise, you can see that tempo run is... something is wrong here. So tempo run is running quite okay. Let's try this again. Here we go. And yeah, this is the HTC Desire 510, which is, as I said, alright. But let's go out here again and play a little bit Asphalt 8. Which is, as I said, a big game, has really good graphics, is for free, so check it out maybe also, but watch out with all the in-game things that you can buy, because you will spend money probably anyhow here, even though it's free. So there's also HTML5 built in, there's no radio support. I don't want to sign in, could not log in, perfect, and let's just play. So let's drive in Tokyo. It's a little bit sad that there's only one speaker. At least they should have or could have here added another speaker to make it boom sound. As you can see, I'm concentrating a bit, that's why I'm not talking so much right now. But after this we will go anyway and check out some other smartphones also in comparison. Don't have an iPhone 6 lying around here right now, just a 6 Plus, but I think that's not that interesting because it's a completely different price range. So we will just compare it with some cheaper ones or similar sized ones. And I think we gamed enough. Usually I stop actually when I hit my first wreck, but that happened quite early right now. So I just want to see you guys enjoying the game a little bit, because you can see then that it's definitely fast enough and there's no hiccups or nothing going on here. So it's definitely alright for gaming. Let me use my last boost here, and then we are almost finished here with the game. Or with the track even. And there we have a wreck again. Here we go. So let me go out and then let's see what we can do with comparisons. So here there's the Moto G of the first generation, which is also available with LTE and microSD, but also without. I would rather buy actually that one because the display is a lot better here, and we also have a flash for the camera. Then the Liquid Jade, also something similar. The display is of course a little bit bigger with the Liquid, with 5 inches, it's slimmer. But actually the HTC is anyway really thick because we have 10.0 millimeters here, so just 10 millimeters in thickness. Then compared to an Apple iPhone 5S or 5, doesn't matter, both are the same. You can see here of course the size is a lot bigger and the HTC is thicker. Then we have a 4.7 inch also Samsung Galaxy Alpha. The Alpha is a 600 MSRP product, so a lot more expensive, but the same display size. Could have been smaller with HTC, that's what I essentially want to show you, because it's the same display size. And you can see here on the bottom also again ports and thickness wise what the differences or the similarities are. And yeah, that's essentially it from the HTC Desire 510. You can see here also an Arcos cheap smartphone which has dual SIM and all kinds of things inside the box, also about the same price. So thank you much for tuning in with the 510. Till next time, please, and then again, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Balazs and thank you much for watching.